Hi guys, welcome to Basic Bit. It is Monday, December 7th, and we are on the 7th day of the December challenge. The problem today we're solving is spiral matrix. So given an integer n, we want to generate an n by n matrix and fill it with elements from 1 to n squared in spiral order. So this example is a pretty good example of what they mean by spiral order. The n in this case is 3, and so we have a 3 by 3 matrix, and it's populated in spiral order. The first thing I would do would be to take this n equals 3 example and trace how the values are populated in the matrix. So first, let's label the indices of the matrix. These values are the row indices, 0, 1, oh, let's erase that. So 0, 1, 2, and these are the column matrices, 0, 1, 2. And so this 1 is placed at row 0, column 0, and then we place 2 at row 0, index 1, and then 3 at 0, 2, going to the right, and then we're going to go down. And so this would be now 1, 2, and then 5 is at 2, 2, 6 is at 2, 1, almost done. Am I going to have room? 2, 0, and then 8 is at 1, 0, and let's move the screen over a little so I have a little bit more room for the last one. And then finally 9 at 1, 1. So we're going to notice that there's a bit of a pattern going on. First, we're doing right, down, left, up, and then right again. 1, 2, 3. So these 3 indices, we're going to the right. And then for 4 and 5, we're going down. And then 6 and 7, we're going to the left. And then finally 8, we're going up and then to the right again. So the first time when we're going across, we're going to populate 3 values. And then when we go down and left, it's 2 values each. And then up and right is 1 value each. Trace through a 3 by 3 matrix. Let's see what we would do if n was equal to 4. So we would still start at 1 and then go to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we would get 4 values going to the right, and then we would already have 4, so we would go down 5, 6, 7. So going down, we get 3 values to the left, 8, 9, 10. 3 values there. And then 11, 12. So up 2 values. To the right, 13, 14. 2 values. Down 1 value. And then finally left 1 value. The first thing that we do, we're going to start from the index 0, 0, go to the right, and we're going to populate n values. So n equals 4, we're going to populate the first row with the first n numbers. And then there's a pattern where we loop through down, left, up, right, down, left. And each time we're going through the loop, the number of blocks that we're populating goes down by 1. So for down and left, we're filling in 3 values each. And then for up and right, we're filling in 2 values each. And then for down and left, we're filling in 1 value each. Let's start by creating the n by n matrix and just initialize everything as zeros. So 0 times n for, we don't care what the variable name is, in range n. So this will create an n by n matrix. And we're gonna populate our first row for I in range n array. The first value is going to be the row value, and the second index is the column index. We want to fill in the first row, so the row index is going to stay 0, and so we can think about at 0, 0, the value that we want is 1. So the value that we put in is I plus 1. First, let's store the index of the last block that we just populated. So the first row, index 0, and then j equals n minus 1. And the value that we just filled in was n. The number of blocks that we're going to fill in for down and left is going to be n minus 1. So as long as the number of blocks we are going to fill in is at least 1, we're going to go down, left, up, right. In each iteration of this while loop, we're either going to do down and left or up plus right. So let's create a Boolean value that determines what we're going to do, down and left or up and right. So first we're going to do down and left. So while alternate, I meant if alternate, else up and right. We're going to go down and populate n minus 1 blocks for the first iteration. So for b in range blocks, in order to go down each row, so we're increasing I plus 1 each time and increasing the value that we're putting in by 1, and then array I, j equal to val. Then when we go left, can copy this, but we need to think about if we're going left, the first index is not going to change, but rather we want to change the j value. We're going to decrement it by 1 each time. So if we were going up, I, instead of increasing, it would be decreasing by 1 each time. And then if we were going to the right, instead of decreasing j by 1, we would be increasing j by 1. If alternate, then we're going to do down and left. But after we do that, the next iteration of the for loop, we want to do the other pair of actions. So we flip, if alternate was true, then at the end of this, we flip it to false. And if it was false, we're going to flip it to true. Okay, and then also we have to keep in mind inside of the while loop, for each iteration, we're going to decrease the number of blocks we fill in by 1. And I believe we just have to return array. Let's run our code. Okay, looking good. Let's submit. And we're accepted.